everybody, and welcome to HRTV Rewind. I'm Zoe Cadwan. This week on HRTV, we closed the doors and turned off the lights for the summer at Churchill Downs.
Mind That Bird has skimmed the rail. A brilliant ride by Calvin Burrell. Mind That Bird wins the Derby.
Rachel Alexandra absolutely pulverizes this field.
Einstein and Cowboy Cow slugging it out close home. Einstein will not hear of defeat. Einstein wins. Miss Isella has got the rail and tried to get through and hit the rail. Calvin Burrell, Miss Isella. What a game performance.
Welcome to Downs After Dark.
Not often you can be around a place that's been in existence for 135 years and experience something completely new, but that's what we're doing tonight.
Macho again is out in front, down the outside, Arson squad. Einstein got out late, it's too late today. Macho again wins.
Bet or no bet?
I picked number 8.
Sister Luani's digging deep, here's the line, tight.
Churchill Downs, dead heat, wow.
Darren, one day during the meet that most of us will never forget is the extraordinary performance from Rachel Alexandra, taking the Oaks by more than 20 lengths. But it was more than just an incredible equestrian performance. It was an opportunity to see the cancer survivors of Susan G. Komen for the Cure and little Rachel Matson in the arms of Hal Wiggins in the winner's circle, the Make-A-Wish girl with Rachel.
That's another way that we think we can build on. You know, Kentucky Oaks Day, we've said all along, was probably the largest attended sporting event in the world that nobody's really heard of, with more than 100,000 people on hand. And so, you know, our partnership with Susan G. Komen for the Cure was a great partnership where we had encouraged our on-track patrons to think tank. We raised more than $100,000 for Susan G. Komen. I think you're going to see that partnership extended and that brand grow even more so. I really believe, and I know Churchill Downs does as well, that we've got a great product out here. Racing is always going to be the core of our business, but we need to continue to find ways to engage the public and get them out here with ancillary entertainment and activities. And it was great being with you this meet, and we'll see you again come fall. November 1st through the 28th, we've got our 21-day fall meet, and that's one I always look forward to because we got some really good 2-year-old racing. So we'll talk to you guys again then.
November 1 will be here quicker than you think.
Don't shed a tear for Churchill. Arlington Park has plenty of exciting racing for all of us, including Breeders' Cup implications.
I'm going to talk about the horses that I'm fans of today, I guess. Love Giant Oak, but Silverfoot, when you watch the way he won the Tin Man, you know, he ran 4th in the Arlington Million last year, and he's one of these horses who always comes wide and comes up a little short. And Chris Amy was aboard Silverfoot in the Tin Man, and he just darted through horses, and he split them like this great white shark. He was so impressive to watch, and he's such a flashy horse. You know, Silverfoot has so many fans out there.
I bet he does. He's easy to spot and fun to watch. I like the great white shark comparison there. Jessica, a big stake last weekend, the Chicago Handicap. What were your thoughts about Informed Decision's performance?
Well, you know, we expected her to go favored. She was expected to win, and I could not have been more impressed with her. Absolutely could not have been more impressed. She went to the front, and, you know, she stayed there. Josie Carroll had a horse in there, the 4-horse, who really pressed Informed Decision, but Informed Decision just drew away from the field as easy as could be. I think she loves synthetic surfaces. You know, I mean, she runs well on the dirt, too, but I think she's one of those who moves up on synthetic surfaces. Really just cannot have been more impressed with Informed Decision.
You know, it's been very impressive, too, to watch this 09 meet at Arlington and all of the potential Breeders' Cup horses that are coming through the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, you know, Informed Decision, obviously one of those, and we're having a really good meet here.
E.T. Baird is also having a great Arlington meet, and it only got better on Saturday with no less than 5 winners.
Inside the final 16th, Big Brushfoot and E.T. Baird. Big Brushfoot to win it. Here comes on the outside, Sedona Bell and E.T. Baird. Sedona Bell over the top of the ball. Ramakaka sees it out in the diamond ring to give E.T. Baird his third of the day. And the final furlong of the Arlington Sprint. Here comes Yankee Ingenuity charging at Chamberlain Bridge. St. Joe third and staying on. Coming up toward the wire, it is Yankee Ingenuity and E.T. Baird. Yankee Ingenuity in the Arlington Sprint. They've turned the corner in the Arlington Handicap. Here's Cosmonaut. Cosmonaut just strikes the top. Public Speaker's under pressure. On the outside just as well. Gentleman Chester runs up between horses. Far outside, My Happiness. Silverfoot with a late gain. Just as well. E.T. Baird's fifth of the day.
If you're at the heights, it's E.T.'s world. We are just watching. 5 winners on the J, including the Arlington Handicap just as well.
Back-to-back stakes races, little concern with the post. The thing is, when you've got a guy like Baird who's won 4 already, they are in a zone. They feel invincible. He's just won a stake. 5 wins today, 4 away from the 2,000 win mark now. I mean, starting the day, he was so far away. 9 away. He's only 4 away now.
Lucky Charm James Graham is loving Arlington Heights as well, and he shows it in his usual manner.
James Graham.
Here it is again.
Sit down.
The bobbleheaded jockey.
And the bobblehead shimmy is coming up from Arlington. We're going to break, but not before.
Not before.
It's become a tradition.
Yeah.
You know what's coming.
Well,
he has 2 on the day.
Got to put the saddle away first.
And it's coming. Just wait. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There we go.
And there it is. Congratulations. Another win for James Graham, followed by the celebratory dance. He's not quite Chat Ocho Cinco, but he's on his way. We'll be right back.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind, the Summit of Speed at Calder brings a few surprises.
But it's Eaton's Gift. Eaton's Gift leads the way, Benny the Bull second, and Eaton's Gift will score the upset in the Smile Sprint.
And Aaron gets some help on ATO from Vic Stauffer.
Vic, can this horse win off works?
Yes!
I agree with Vic Stauffer, yes.
Welcome back to HRTV Rewind. I'm Zoe Cadwin. The Summit of Speed may have provided us with an early favorite for this year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies.
You and I have been hearing a lot of positive things about number 3, Dashing Debbie, by Medaglia d'Oro. Of course, that's the sire of Rachel Alexandra. Dashing Debbie is a first-time starter running in this JJ's Dream, so a stakes race with a maiden, so that tells you that they think something of her to put a first-time starter in a stakes race. But the wagering would indicate maybe Dashing Debbie isn't so hot as we've been, as the weather here will say.
And as they make the swing for home, first-time starter Dashing Debbie is opened up. Dashing Debbie going better than Miss Delight, and she's powering past the furlong pole. Dashing Debbie, good-looking first-time starter here. She's got a 7-length lead in the JJ's Dream, and she's well on her way. Dashing Debbie and Daniel Koa, ultra impressive. They win by 7.
And the buzz was spot on here at Calder Racecourse over the past few days.
But what's really quizzical is all that buzz and then 13-1 on the toe board. It's just very, very mind-boggling. And this filly ran more like a 4-5 shot. Look at this, how she just powers away from the competition. She's a little green, but this is her career debut. But remember, this isn't a maiden race. This is the JJ's Dream Stakes, a $100,000 stakes race. This is a filly by the same sire as Rachel Alexandra, Medaglia d'Oro.
Jeff Siegel, maybe on the top 5 for the Philly division for Breeders' Cup?
How about not top 1? I haven't even done the 2-year-old fillies yet or the 2-year-old colts, but I think Dashing Debbie is going to be up on the high part of that list. She even looks like Rachel. This filly was at, what, 13-1 or something like close to that? And just won off by, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 lengths. A stake first time out. Yikes.
Stopping by Race to America was Calder track announcer Bobby Newman to talk about the big weekend in Miami.
Should be a great day. We're really looking forward to it. 13 races, 8 of them stakes, and like you said, 4 graded stakes and an all-graded stakes pick 4. Now it just comes down to handicapping.
Let's kick off the action with the 7th race at Calder, the Azalea Stakes. A grade 3 for the 3-year-old fillies, Bobby. Now, first passage in here, Bobby, is coming out of the stake, the Leave Me Alone Stakes, which several of these horses also coming out of. This filly seems to be in such good form, and she can come from way off the pace with the amount of speed in here.
Right, and it certainly plays in her favor, and as you mentioned, there's a lot of speed in here. I think she had things the way she wanted them last time out. She was 2-1 in that stakes, the Leave Me Alone. The filly who was the favorite was Don't Tell Me What to Do, who going into the race had never been here in South Florida and just didn't fire her best shot. I think we're going to see a better effort from Don't Tell Me What to Do this Saturday at Calder, so going to be interesting to see if First Passage can run by him again.
Here comes First Passage closing in on K's and J's. K's and J's Royal Card. First Passage, they're 3 right across the track as they come to the final furlong, and First Passage forges to the lead. It's First Passage. K's and J's trying to battle back from the inside. These two clear of Royal Card as they come down to the wire, and First Passage will win the Azalea.
Bob Baffert's champion filly Indian Blessing did not make it to Calder for the weekend, but whose fault was that?
And we lost one. We lost Indian Blessing, unfortunately.
Indian Blessing is
She
out.
didn't make the flight. Now, there's no truth to the rumor that she didn't make it because Lafitte was supposed to take her to the airport.
What are you referring to? What are you trying to say?
We were late. Bob decided not to send her, so
right.
He's got a couple others down there going, but Indian Blessing remaining home, so that maybe opens up the Princess Rooney a little bit.
Another comment like that, and it will be the end of the Pinkai chauffeur service for Jeff Siegel on the road.
Her scratch gave way to Game Face, who became the morning light favorite and hot choice on Against the Odds.
$350,000 Princess Rooney handicap, a grade 1. Morning line favorite is Game Face, and pleased now to be joined by Aaron Kessler from the Golden Nugget. Aaron, you got your Game Face on. Welcome to Against the Odds.
Hello, and I do have my Game Face on. I hate to be a chalk eater, but Game Face looks the best here to me. I'm going to give her a pass on that little flop she ran in the Vagrancy.
Aaron, I mean, Game Face, her last two were disappointing, but if you can go back, and obviously you are, to the Gulfstream form, including the Inside Information Stakes, the race we're watching right now, I mean, that was a breathtaking win. That was very impressive.
Yeah, she stalked some real fast fractions there, and I think she's going to get that chance again on Saturday. You've got a lot of speed signed on, but most of it's to her outside. You've got Dubai Majesty and Marina Ballerina. I think she can probably get down to the rails, sit about 3rd or 4th, and maybe go around some horses.
And it's Game Face off the turn, and she's the leader down to the final furlong. Game Face and Edgar Prado pouring it on the Princess Rooney. It's Game Face drawing away at the 16th pole. Keep the Peace trying to hold second. Ori Nokia late from the back of the pack. It's Game Face. She's a grade 1 winner.
Benny the Bull was back to conquer the summit, but Dale Romans had other plans with a surprise winner.
Eaton's Gift rolling at him now. Benny the Bull is not doing enough at this point. Processor's Turf trying to close in, but it's Eaton's Gift. Eaton's Gift leads the way. Benny the Bull second, and Eaton's Gift will score the upset in the Smile Sprint.
Dale, congratulations. Your thoughts on the race?
Thank you. He's a wonderful horse. I mean, he tries hard every time, and we knew he'd be out in front of Benny, and we're just hoping he could hold him off, and it all worked out perfect.
Of course, Benny the Bull, the heavy favorite in this race, and he was coming late. What were you thinking that last part of the race?
Looking for the wire. I'm sure, like everybody, had a ticket on him. I felt really good about him. I mean, I didn't know if we were good enough to beat Benny. That was my only question, but he's had some minor surgery during the winter, and he came back bigger and stronger and better as a 4-year-old, and I think he's going to have a big year.
To close out the day at Calder, Stanley Gold had to overcome an inside draw to steal the Frank Gomez Memorial.
And one more stakes race to go here on Summit of Speed Day at Calder Race Course. It is the $100,000 Frank Gomez Memorial. One of the 2-year-olds in this race is number 1, Jackson Bend, who is a half-brother to the multiple stakes winner Garterbelt. I have the trainer of Jackson Bend and Garterbelt. That is Stan Gold. And Stan, Jackson Bend coming off a nice win last time out. Tell us what you thought of that race.
Well, he showed us that he's got the speed to be close, but wants to go longer, and he should sit off the pace and run good going further, the further we go.
How do you feel about the inside post?
Not very happy about it because we're going to have to go, and hopefully we can get out of there and kind of ease our way back and around. It's not a good place to be if you're not going to be in front.
That's Stan Gold sending out Jackson Bend for the Frank Gomez.
Thanks so much, J-Dub. And Jackson Bend, you have to appreciate Stan Gold's honesty. What about the rail? I don't like it.
Yeah, most of the time you go, well, you know, it's not a bad spot to be. I don't like it. I don't like it even a little bit.
Jackson Bend now switching off the rail for his stretch run, but it's Mr. Green and DeFunnybone. Mr. Green the inside, DeFunnybone the outside. Nothing between them as they come down to mid-stretch. DeFunnybone now forges to the lead. Jackson Bend is rolling home on the grandstand side, and here comes Jackson Bend and Jeffrey Sanchez, and they're up in time to win the Frank Gomez.
It's all about the ROI on ATO for Aaron Veracruz, so Jeff's winner from last week got no respect.
Winner, winner, it's best bet time, and Jeff's buying dinner. Judging by the price of your best bet last weekend, let's go to the value menu in the drive-thru window.
All right, we'll
odds on.
Hey, I'll take it.
In handicapping the Hollywood Gold Cup, Aaron swings for the fences again, but got a little help from track announcer Vic Stauffer.
I'm going to go with Life is Sweet, John. Sheriff's kind of a second stringer in the barn. I'd like to have second stringers like her, though.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I think she can win the Hollywood Gold Cup beating the boys.
I'm going to go big price, and I really, a big field, big price. And I think Mass Track, in order to be the champ, you have to beat the champ. Now, he's not going to get bet at all because he comes off a couple of dull efforts, but he's been working a hole in the wind in the morning, and Mass Track is running at a track where Vic Stauffer is at the top of the grandstands. Vic, can this horse win off works? I agree with Vic Stauffer. Yes, Mass Track comes back to defend his title in the Gold Cup and wins at a huge way.
I think Vic would rather see Big Booster win because he's the agent for Joel Rosario who's running Big Booster. But Mass Track, yeah, but this is not last year.
Mass Track came up empty as Rail Trip got the trip and the distance.
Rail Trip comes off the top of the turn, and Rail Trip is suddenly 2 in front, and no one's running after him. Rail Trip comes to the final 16th, and he's opened up 3 lengths on Tres Barachos, and the rest are left in his wake. It is Rail Trip straight and strong to win the Hollywood Gold Cup.
Amazing trip for Rail Trip. In fact, last night it looked like it was very prevalent for front runners. No change here in the Hollywood Gold Cup. The first 2 runners go 1-2 in the race. Huge effort by Tres Barachos, a horse that had not won a graded stake since the swaps last year in July, finding new life as a front runner. But when it's all said, Rail Trip gets the job done for Ron Ellis and JMS Stable.
When we get back, HRTV Rewind hits a couple of milestones.
You can blow the kazoo for Steve Asmussen. He sets a record for a single season of thoroughbred wins at Lone Star Park.
And checks in with 2008 Derby winner Big Brown.
Big Brown bounding home to a convincing win in the Run for the Roses. It's down to Western Forum and Big Texas Daddy, but Big Texas Daddy lengthening his stride. He takes the lead by a neck. Western Forum on the inside second, but you can blow the kazoo for Steve Asmussen. He sets a record for a single season of thoroughbred wins at Lone Star Park.
It's always that much sweeter to re-break a record in a stakes event, and Steve Asmussen has just done just that. Asmussen, his thoughts following this win from Big Texas Daddy and setting the new record for wins as a trainer at Lone Star.
It's been a great ride. Can't say enough about it. You know, me and Julie have settled here in Arlington. All 3 of the boys born here. Just a very special place to us. Mom and Dad get to come up and enjoy the fun, and you know, like, it's just been a great ride and want to continue to enjoy it.
Congratulations, Steve, and congratulations to Rafael Bejarano for a milestone win at Hollywood Park.
Another milestone across town is a man who came to the West Coast on a storm by the name of Rafael Bejarano seems to be winning everything, and now he's got another record at 2,000.
And here comes Good Time Sally in. She means business. Storm the church. Good Time Sally in. Good Time Sally blows by. Good Time Sally suddenly 3 in front. Storm the Church second. Susan's Wildcat third. Good Time Sally. 2 wins, Kathy Walsh. Good Time Sally won by 4.
Congratulations out to Rafael Bejarano, 2000th winner. You know, I look at him and not fist pumping, and I look at Vince Lombardi, a longtime coach of the Green Bay Packers, who used to tell his players when they got a touchdown, pretend like you've been there before. hand the ball off to the referee, get back off to the sidelines. And if you notice very quickly, any other athlete would have taken a nice little slice of cake. He just kind of went over with his index finger, just went,
no
okay,
cake
that's
for me.
great. Thanks, that was plenty. I got to go to the sweat box now and take that off.
It was a pleasure to hear from Gary Contessa on Race Day America this week, especially regarding such a great cause.
The Acceler Fund, we actually work with Cantor at all different levels. We will take adoptions. We don't have a farm. What we do is we foster our horses out. So for every horse that comes to us, we have to find one of our foster farms, like the foster people. You know, it's not that much different than people, but we find one of our foster farms that can take that horse, and we put it out there. And then we have the accelerfund.org website, and people can adopt horses off the website. And what we try and do is the tough ones, we try and rehabilitate them. Some, as you know, come off the racetrack with, you know, career-ending injuries, and those horses, we have to put them just as field buddies for people, and people want that. You know, they act as good company for other horses. So we have all kinds of different horses that we need to place out there, and it's a constant struggle. We have people adopting horses, people trying to give us horses, and then through Cantor's out there at the slaughterhouses pulling tattoos off of thoroughbreds, and, you know, calling us and saying, hey, we need to get these thoroughbreds saved. You know, this is a stakes winner. This horse came from this track. This horse came from that track. So, you know, we're working day and night trying to save these horses as well so they don't go across the border and end up in the slaughterhouse. Everybody's got their hands full with horses that need homes. And it's, you know, it's something that I wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for horses. So, you know, this is my opportunity to give something back.
Hall of Fame jockey Jerry Bailey stopped by for his own good cause with other world-class riders.
It's a pretty cool deal. We did this last year on a very small scale. They had raffled off a chance to have lunch with Pat Day, myself, Early Fires. There's a couple other guys I can't remember. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to embarrass you by not remembering, but it was a really fun thing, and there was stories flying around for a couple hours, and we, as the jockeys, had a good time doing it. And so I think they just opened it up this year, and they made it a limited number. I believe there was 100 and seats available to still keep it rather small. But I know almost immediately close to half of them went, and there are some left, but I'm sure that there's a limited number. So it's going to be a pretty cool deal. It's a 2.5 hours, I think it is, lunch with, there's 23 of us, you know, guys like Turcotte, Brawley Baeza, Cordero, Gene Kruger, Pat Day, Early Fires for those people in Chicago. Ray Seville is going to be there as well. Gary Stevens. I mean, I'm going to miss some, but, I mean, it's just loaded with guys.
Also on Race Day America, we got an update on 2008 Kentucky Derby winner Big Brown from Three Chimneys Farm.
Well, he's settled in very, very well just from day one. He's such a classy horse. We had a big group of people come up to him and essentially give him a big hug, and he just kind of stood there. You could literally walk under him, and he just stands like a statue. He's got a full book this year, and his fertility is excellent. Thank goodness. That's the last hurdle you have to get over when acquiring a stallion. And his reception has been very good among Americans and Europeans, and we've gotten some really good quality on his book from graded stakes winners, the graded stakes producers, the stakes winners and stakes producers. So we're very happy in that regard. To be able to win the Derby with such a few amount of starts, I think is important to breeders, because the breeders tend to want to have their horses run well and run early, and so I think it is important.
We turn the page once again on HRTV and fast forward to what promises to be another great week.